Hello everyone, hello and happy greetings. Welcome to everyone joining. This is Jennifer and happiness to you wherever you are. I hope you're feeling great wherever this moment finds you. And today we are with personal power, life coaching for wellness in the kitchen. And I'm about to get my juice underway. So let's go ahead and do this. It's celery juice time because it is the holiday season and you may be going home for the holidays if you celebrate, or you may be noticing more holiday foods, more temptations in the environment, more reasons to kind of break your commitments, your goals for your health, for your well-being. Maybe you're giving yourself a little bit more wiggle room, but that wiggle room is going to make our body wiggle and jiggle. So besides that, also you want to make sure that your body is healthy and happy for the long term, not just to feel good in a short moment when you are eating a piece of whatever that it is that you know or think is really to your detriment in the long term if you keep having it. So it's really about keeping up the healthy habits that really give back to you. And then when you step out of your regime or your plan or your program for wellness, your wellness program, then at least you know you still keep on track, you're still doing the right things, you're still juicing your celery or juicing your green juices, your green veggies like kale, collard greens, cabbage, maybe even mixing it up with some carrot and beetroot and squashes, which are in season, so you can do more seasonal consumption of fruit, so you vibe more in alignment with the universe and the seasons, the moon and the sun, and the planet as a being of this earth. So let's go ahead and juice our celery. So I'm in New York, which means that, hello to everyone joining, and it means that I have the juicer that we have, the family juicer, which is very different from the cuvings that I use at home. So this, sorry for that, we had an interruption, and so I'm going to turn that off and let us go into our different mode. So let's go into, well, that's do not disturb. So here we got the juicer, and this is the one that we bought. It's the really, I think it's family friendly. It's good for a budget. It's called Oster, the brand. And it's centrifugal, so it goes very fast, and it means that it's not the same as the slow rotating one that I use at home in Dubai, which is slow rotating, which I've explained before. The reason that is ideally and most optimal the situation you're working with is because you don't heat up the produce that you're juicing, the items that you're juicing as much, and hence you're not losing the enzymes, you're not burning up the enzymes or cooking them, and you also get more juice extraction. So when you go for buying your juicer, look for a slow rotating machine or a masticating machine, which is going to assure you of maximum extraction of the pulp so that you get a dry pulp as opposed to wet pulp, which means you're losing out on some of the juice and losing out on your produce. So that's those are some tips for buying your juicer if you don't have one already, or if you're going to upgrade yourself to a new juicer. And between you and I may ultimately for this Christmas go ahead and get ourselves the family juicer. So that could be the family gift. I'll get us the juicer, and that'll be very nice. And for myself, for the family, I'm thinking of getting the Omega juicer, which is slow rotating, and they make it in different physical arrangements. So one of them is vertical and one of them is more horizontal. So I'm gonna go for the vertical one, which saves counter space, but you still get all the benefits of the juice you're making. So that may also assist and aid you in your own juice machine purchase. Not now necessarily, but maybe in the future down the line. You just never know. So without further ado, let us go ahead and juice this. And I set it up here. I'm doing my best here with our setup so that you can have a proper view of the machine while I'm here for you, and also because I usually prefer speaking to you on a horizontal plane, but I really hope that this direction is all right for the time being. And so let us go ahead. Most of the celery is already in the machine. I've done plenty of videos before with this machine, so it's just a matter of let's do it. So, all right. Now for this one, I definitely want to be using the cover because of the speed. It'll really move, and sometimes it produces that squirting effect. So this is the thing. This is the tool that we want, and so. Picking up the pieces, got some more, so you want to break that up. Take your celery, break it into smaller pieces so that you improve the production and the final product. Have a look, see at, well, that's what we've got, and that is less than 16 ounces, but it's gonna have to do for today, even though usually you know that we do 16 to 20 to 22 ounces, especially I do 20 when I'm at work. So that is the juice, and again, we want to go for 16 to 20 ounces if you can. If you really hate the taste, then start small. Start with maybe 12 ounces, which is not, it's not so excessive. And yep, so we've got our juice ready, our cup, and down the hatch. Nice, it's beautiful. Oh, okay, maybe it is just about 16 ounces. So let's have a look at that. Wow, lovely, foamy. So when I make my juice in the cuvings, there isn't as much foam because of the machine. Now, I really appreciate this machine, so I do believe it's about being grateful for what we have to work with. So if you can only afford a machine where it is fast rotating right now, then work with that and just get yourself plenty of produce at a good price so you can make it affordable as well and thus sustainable for the long term. Let's go ahead and have a taste. So, I do believe that it's celery juice that does a body good, for sure, for sure. If there's one thing that you have no doubt that is good for you, it's going to be a green juice. Really, any green juice that you can make, and by green I'm talking about vegetables. We are referring to veggies. And so you want to have your collard greens, your kale, spinach, cilantro, parsley, which are herbs. Also, you can juice rosemary. You can juice a little bit of thyme, which is an herb. Focus on the veggies. Again, spinach, kale, collard greens, broccoli, the cruciferous vegetables. You can also then juice the squash. And of course, we're not just living off of juices, but these are complements to your regime. Cucumber juice is also awesome and very alkalizing and hydrating. Yeah, this is great for getting yourself on track, staying on track. Fantastic. So, there's no doubt. And since I was traveling in the last 24 hours, I didn't have my celery juice at the airport because of the flight timing. So, I'm back on track. I didn't do it for one day, which is fine, but I know that now I'm back on track. I'm having it on an empty stomach, so it's good for my hydrochloric acid. It's good for my stomach lining, which I really need to take care of. And if that's something that you need to work on as well, if you have GERD, I don't have GERD, thanks to God, but I just have in the past I had H. pylori, so I have to be very attentive and mindful about what I put into my stomach first thing in the morning, and I have to be very careful with the food combinations, but also the substances that I'm putting into my stomach, into my body, because everything has to go past your stomach. So even if you're drinking something, that substance will also affect your nerves, the nerves in your stomach, and thus your brain and your whole digestion. Everything has an effect, everything, because it goes in. Everything, even water, which is, it has no nutrients. It has minerals if it's been mineralized, but it doesn't have any macronutrients, and yet it still has an impact on our health, which it means we need it for our health, actually. So go ahead, continue taking care of yourself, continue doing the best that you can. Know that every environment has its temptations and that we have our weaknesses. And when you can be truthful with your own environment and your